Did we lost Annie?
Oh, yeah. I think she will be back.
I hope so.
Let's wait 2 more minutes and then we will start, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, sure. 2 more minutes and we start.
And
Good morning, everyone. I would say let's start if you agree, right? Okay, so good morning. I am Elisa for the ones that do not know me, and I'm from Matera Hub, the one of the 2 Italian partners. So welcome to the inaugural webinar of the Beat and Track Academy webinar series. We're very, very thrilled to have you here today for the service design webinar hosted by our esteemed partner from Estonia, Lovesti. So I'm talking now because I will be sharing an overview of the webinar calendar, and then I will give the floor to Eva. So now I'm going to share my screen to show you the calendar of the webinar series, so we can go through them together. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we see you, Skir.
You can see it?
Yes.
Right. So good. This is the super interesting lineup for the coming months. It's focused, of course, on the soft skills that you're developing through the individual microlearning path and the team idea development. So it works like this. Each project partner will be conducting 2 meetings as part of the series. And so as you can see, in July, we have 4 webinars, which means 1 webinar per week. It's followed by 2 webinars in August at the very beginning and at the very end of August, so that you have, and we have, time for vacation. And then other 4 webinars in September, 1 each week. So all the webinars will last around 45 minutes, 1 hour. And the series will be concluded, as you can see, with the webinar Unlocking European Funding Opportunities for Women Entrepreneurs. So that closes the series just before the European meeting in Matera. So if you don't have other questions, now I'm going to share inside the chat the calendar again. I think you already have it, but I will share it. And before proceeding, I want to show you also, I want to heads up on the next week webinar, which will be hosted by in media, and it will take place on Tuesday, the 11th of July at 10 a.m. And it will delve into the topic of sustainable tourism with the contribution of one of the change makers, Anna Fernandez. So in the chat, I will put this link to the platform where you can see Monica's discussion with the link to register, and also a PowerPoint, which consists of 4 slides. And I really encourage you to give it a read because we will be discussing it together during the session. So I'll stop sharing my screen. And since I provided you with the information for the upcoming sessions, unless you have questions, let me know. My part is complete, and I'm really delighted to hand over the floor to Eva, who will kick off today's webinar on service design. Enjoy.
Thank you, Elisa. Welcome to all of you in my side. I start also with sharing screen. It's visible. Not full screen yet. Just a minute. So, a few words about Creative Estonia. We are partners in Off the Beaten Track project. I'm happy to be host today's webinar. Creative Estonia is creative and cultural industries development organization in Estonia, and we are members of international networks, and we are partnering in several EU cooperation projects. Our mission is to take Estonian creativity to the world. My name is Eva Leemet. I am in education. I am a master degree in business development. I also accredited business consultant, working with creative companies since 2009. And in daily, I'm working as managing director of Creative Estonia. Today, I will facilitate the webinar, and we do short check-in question. Then we will follow the lecture about customer journey. And our lecturer is Markko Karu. Markko is service designer. I have to say that this lecture is recorded, but in the online, does it have any difference? Is it recorded or it's now will be said? So that if you have any questions, I will take your questions. But the Markko's lecture is about 20 minutes, and we will start very soon. First, I have checking question for you. If it's possible, please open your video, and then we will see each other. And then please answer the question. Where are you from? And what is your dream? Why you are participate today's webinar? What is your expectation? So I stop sharing the screen. Then we can follow this. Your faces. Let's start with participants who are not our partners. I guess that our partner is not Sarah. Sarah, could you please open mic and say where are you from and what
Sorry,
is...
Eva. Sarah is part of InMedia teams. She's new today, so sorry.
Welcome.
I didn't have time to introduce her, but she's part of InMedia. Well, if she wants to say hello, please. But
Yeah, please.
Hi, everyone.
You're from Spain.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Sarah. What about Katarina?
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm from Slovakia, but I live in Spain actually, in Barcelona. And I do not have expectation. I don't know. I am just curious. And let's see what can I use from this what we will hear today.
It's
So,
very good start to be open-minded. Yeah,
yes.
great. We are a bit delayed, but let's do fast. We have, I see some ladies. Maria Angela.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mariangela, and I'm Italian. As Caterina, I'm also open to meet new people and to know new experiences and to get inspired by all of you and probably create a network that could be like useful for everyone. So that's why I'm here.
Hey, nice to meet you. We have Sonia.
Hi, I'm sorry. I thought I didn't have the mic on. I hope you don't hear any noise.
No.
Because I'm actually in the train. Sorry. I had an exam today, and I'm from Italy, and from the south of Italy, and I think that probably my expectation, not only from today's meeting, but in general with this project, is not being forced to leave the South to have some opportunities in the creative field, which is something too common in the South.
Thank you. Nice. We have few Estonian ladies. I see Kaira.
Hello, I'm from Estonia. I am from the second biggest island in the Baltic Sea, which is called Saaremaa. But actually living in Tallinn, have been worked in tourism for 20 plus years. And as Katarina told, really curious, open-minded, that no high expectations because they will kind of, kill everything, but too high expectations. But I joined the project because I love to be in the business. I love the ladies who are proactive, and I love the international collaboration. So I think it's a great project, and let's see what we can come up with that.
Thank you, Kaira. Great. We have Anni. Anni, could you open mic?
Hey, yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, hi. I am here for the information and for the contacts. I just started work a month ago for our county tourism development center. So all of this is very useful for me in my future work.
Super, thanks. I guess, do we have more participants, or the others are our partners? All I see. Yeah, but now it's time to start with the content of today's webinar. I know the program in this project, we all will have had local mentoring workshops, and these mentoring workshops was also based on the design mindset, so that this you probably remember that there was canvases you filled about understand more, who is my real customer, what is the customer persona, where they will get the information about my services, what are the problems, how to understand better, and then to serve the services, what is needed. And today we will start and go more deeper about customer journey. I will start with a video. Markko Karu will explain you how to understand and analyze the customer journey, where customer will get information about you and how you have to do all these same steps what customer will do and to understand, is everything going smoothly or there is some barriers we have to solve and to make it more easy for customer. So that, as I said, it takes around 20 minutes. And after that, we can start discussing and having questions. You see the screen, it's Markko, and we will start.
Hi.
I don't hear the voice.
Me neither. It doesn't work really well.
The voice doesn't go through, yeah.
Eva, we can not hear you either.
We just checked before the session.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe when you muted yourself.
Okay. I will not mute myself. Let's try again. And let's hope it's working then.
So usually the service is seen.
Let's start again.
Where your customer connects with your service.
Yeah, it works now.
How is service design different from ordinary quality management? The moments we are interested in are not only those direct interactions. So usually the service is seen as something where customer walks in from the door, asks for something, receives a service, and leaves. Service design takes a longer journey. We are interested in where this person got the very first idea to have that service. And it ends with either returning to you or getting rid of something once it's about physical product. So let's say you are buying a car. So in that moment when you are buying a car, you are thinking about selling it and how this car will keep its value on the market. Knowing this longer journey gives you more control over how this service is perceived, how many customers you get, and what is the motivation to visit you. So this customer journey is usually mapped out as emotional journey. There are highlights and there are low points. I'm taking an example of a theater. Most of us have visited one in their lifetime. So how does visiting a theater look as a journey? The services are usually mapped as a series of moments that happen before, during, and after service. And the plus and minus indicate positive and negative emotions of your customers. So the definitive moment when you know that you're going to a theater is that you are aware that there is a play you would like to see. So the service doesn't start with stepping in from the door, but from knowing that there is a play. So the next step would be to get tickets. Sometimes that can be difficult. Then you are dressing up, depending on whether you have something to wear, makes it positive or negative. And then you find a place where you park your car. That can be an issue in some cities. Then you arrive at the theater. Everybody is well dressed. You go to toilet, the emotion goes up, up, up. Then you see the first scene. So that's the highlight of the day. Then at the pause, you queue at the bar and your emotion drops. And therefore, the second scene, you don't experience as good because you were waiting for your coffee, which didn't arrive. So you are murking about that. So usually we see the experience that people are having as something that happens on stage, but actually all those moments before and after that affect the overall experience and satisfaction. So what happens after the next scene? You queue at the wardrobe, then you got a parking ticket, you arrive at home, and the next day you can share your experience with your colleagues, which is again a positive note, and it makes it worth spending time at the theater. So it's a roller coaster. There are highlights and there are low points. And from the service perspective, you usually should remove those low points to get a better customer experience. Not make the highlights higher, but remove the places where people just walk away, get frustrated, and leave. Whenever you're mapping your service, some services cannot be described as this just because the content of the service is not as easy. For instance, if you are going to a dentist, then the first time you are visiting them, finding the place is an issue. Next time you already know it. So if you have like long-term relationships, this information asymmetry gets smaller. And therefore this interaction cannot be helped by making everything more understandable. But for first-time customers, you definitely always have to take care of this guidance and understanding what is going on at the service. So there are usually 5 things you can do about improving this customer experience and service quality overall. First thing you can do is that you can attract people to the service by telling about it. This is what you do with advertising. This is what you do with writing articles. It's about understanding why you need this service. So before people visit you, they have to understand that they have the need for it, and you are the best one to provide it. The second step is choosing again, having a wide selection is actually working against us. We don't like the variety. We like to get the perfect one. So if you have only few products to choose from, it's really easy to choose. If you have a wide list of products, it's actually a problem to solve. So make your service easy to buy by having less options to choose from. Imagine visiting a doctor who gives you 5 options for treatment. You don't want those. You want his opinion on how you should be treated. So therefore, make sure that the customer gets your best advice and make it more valuable by having less options instead of having more. It's counterintuitive, but the tests have shown it that the less options we have, the more likely people are to purchase. The third step is about providing feedback. This is where you like to get informed about how the service is going. This is when you visit the website and there is a pop-up about after you have filled in the form that everything was a success, your form was sent, and now you have to just wait. Without that screen, we get really anxious because we don't know whether this form was sent, that everything was successful. We need that feedback. A week ago, there was a news that a man purchased over 20 Teslas. Something on the website was wrong. The feedback loop was broken, and the man just sent the same form again and again. So this happens with services. Think about visiting a hospital where nobody gives you instructions about what is going to happen next, or the doctor is just writing on the paper without telling you anything about what they saw while they were examining you. So that kind of information is very valuable. It gives us a feeling of control and also helps us to appreciate the service you receive. The fourth phase is supporting your customers if something goes wrong. Quite often, services or service companies tell to their customers that they have made a mistake. They have not read the instructions or similar. That means that the person who is receiving this service didn't act as the company was expecting. We all make mistakes, and it's really important that we solve any issue, especially if you are hosting, if you are the one who knows how the service should be purchased or how the questions should be asked. But what happens quite often is that the companies say that they have not read the instructions, they have entered from the wrong door, they basically are behaving badly and therefore should be punished. Nobody makes mistakes intentionally. We are humans, things happen. Therefore, taking care of the situation, solving it, and then dealing with whose fault was it, is something that makes long-lasting customer relations. Treat your customers as you are treating your friends. Don't treat those situations as as battleground. You are not fighting against your customers. You are not winning. Help them, and they will stay true to you. The easiest way to get new customers is to serve those who have been let down by our competitors. It has been seen that once you trust your customers, they appreciate the trust you have given upon them. So you don't have to police them. You treat them as normal people. In Australia, there was a restaurant which asked people to pay for food by their own conscience. You can pay as much you think this food was worth. It seems like a concept where people can cheat, where they can basically get food for free. But what happened was that the people really appreciated the service, and now it's a franchise. So if you treat people well, that's the foundation of loyal customers. And when we talk about loyal customers, retaining relationships is again something you can really build on, because returning customers are always cheaper to get than getting new ones, because they already know you, they already know the service, they appreciate it, and what they need is just a friendly reminder about your existence. It's not about making sales, it's about asking whether this service you provided has done them good, that everything works as expected. It's about keeping this human relationship with your customers. Quite often we kind of forget about customers. Once the invoice is paid, they kind of disappear. But usually those people stay around for about 60 years or more. So they will remember you if you are nice to them. So those 5 phases of any customer journey can be improved by adding some little bits and pieces to your service. Every service consists of different touch points provided by different layers of your service. There is a direct contact with the customer. There are advertising materials. There are websites. There is a back office. Then there are sometimes partners. There are different layers that are involved in different moments in customers' time. So what you end up with is kind of mapping. It's called service blueprint, where you know in which phase you are improving this customer experience and on which layer of your service it is provided. So this attraction phase usually is done with websites, attending at the trade fair. So there are different activities you can plan for depending on what kind of service you are providing. I had this interesting story about those heavy machinery where the company was planning to promote their website using Google AdWords. Basically, thinking about getting customers who are actively searching on the web. Now, when we started discussing how their customers are behaving on a daily basis, most of those contractors, basically guys who are spending their days in a pickup truck, driving around construction sites, and most of the time using a mobile phone for making phone calls. So they are not actively looking for heavy machinery on the web. They are actively calling to people. So how do you get those guys? Is there are places like that are serving lunch for those construction workers. So basically having a banner there and also doing ads on the radio is that fits to the life of those men. So you have to kind of know the people. You have to know how they behave, where they can be contacted, how they're making a decision, when it's convenient for them to visit you, and so forth. So you have to go out, talk to them, try things by yourself, and then map out a real journey, pointing out where your customers are struggling, and then finding things that help them along the way. It's not about the technical product, it's about interaction. It's about understanding customer motivation, their behavior, limitations, and therefore helping the people to have better lives. Thanks.
Okay. How many people still here? All of you survived. So, do we have any questions immediately? It's also now recorded, so you can follow up if you need to watch this video again. Elisa, will we put these video recordings to the web portal, to the OTBT Academy?
We should, yeah, we will put it inside the academy so that you can watch it as an open source. I think Kaira wants to say something.
Yeah.
I could see it from your eyes.
Yeah, I was just sorry, telephone. I was just watching this Markko's video and I couldn't stop laughing because client service is such a serious business. He was so serious while providing the great ideas, I think. And the main point for me was that, it could be like, you know, the selection of the services or the products you are offering, make it less, make it easier, don't complicate, don't overthink. I think this is a main key point. I experienced that when I was handling the Saaremaa Island kind of tourist development projects and things, and it kind of, you know, made it really clear that please provide only one idea or thought per time or per meeting, otherwise the people get lost. So this is a good point. But yes, I couldn't stop laughing because client service is such a serious business.
Yeah, Markko takes it very seriously.
Any comments?
No, more comments?
Actually, for me, what was interesting, it's as I'm from the field, the culture field, I'm a choreographer. And so for me, this thing to know about, like, I mean, like people, what they are doing, like he was pointing this experience in a theater, no? And this is very interesting, you know, like as we are doing any activity, like to know where they are coming people from, where they are going to. So it's not only the activity in itself, but also what's happening before and then after. And for me, it's something what makes a click for me, which was very nice to just understand, ah, yeah, that's right. It's like the whole experience for someone.
When we started to kind of develop tourism in Estonia as by themes like nature, culture, etc., it was like, let's say, like 15 years ago. Then the kind of definition was a client journey, where the touch points are made and where the actual decision is made and who is how it's influenced and by whom it's influenced. Nowadays, the word is used is service design. But basically it kind of, covers all the touch points on the road. So it's, for me, it's kind of, how the definitions are changing with times. So, or in time, yeah.
Do you see like any soft skills related to what he was talking about?
I always tell that, I do a lot of different marketing projects. And one question, I want more of kind of turnover, more of visitors, more of everything. And next step, when I'm asking that, who is your client, or create a client portfolio, then they tend to overthink. They try to, wow, be. But my experience tells from the kind of tens and tens of years that more likely the client is like you. You can't offer the service, or you can't create the product for people who are kind of 180 degrees different. You have to look, to the mirror. Okay, what do I like? And the great marketing is just to exceed the expectations, to be present at the moment. For example, if there is a kind of, bringing this theater example into it, when it's a queue in the loo, you can make it, turn it somewhat, offer something or entertain the people in the queue or ask the feedback and make them feel good. If you know that your kind of this kind of infrastructure is limited and the capacity is limited, how to make it, turn it around as a good client experience. And I think this is, for me, one of the kind of the main thing I always kind of bring forward, that, your client, don't overthink when you're trying to map your client portfolio, because your client is like you. Otherwise, you couldn't offer the service you want to kind of, offer. Yeah. Or you find somebody else who could kind of, handle the either wealthy guys or kind of, the students or etc. You have to kind of, make up your team as you want to offer the service. Yeah.
It was also Markko's suggestion that speak with your potential clients when you are coming to the market first with your new service. You start discussing with customers, and then you get feedback, and you can design your service perfectly for your target group, and you will be in the shoes of the customer, and you feel what is needed and what can I provide. Yeah. Thank you, Kaira. It's has been very nice discussion. I hope that all our participants joined it. I have feeling that we have no more questions, but I have one question to all of you. To check out from today's session, you should open your screen and answer the question. Just a minute, I will share my screen. Okay, it's a checkout question. What will you do after today's session? Do you have any ideas what to do with this knowledge and information what you did got from the lecture today? And especially we are asking this question from our participants, not from partners, but from participants. But yeah, who could be first and answer to this session? Checkout question.
Hey, I can speak first.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, my first idea is to go and check I provide a farmers market service, and I am not sure if I have the verification after the merchant buys a ticket. Does our website or the invoice say, thank you, you are now registered? I'm not sure. So that was the first thing I'll be doing.
Good, Annie, good.
Thank you.
Something very practical and very important to do. Yeah. Who else has some ideas what to do? If not, we should start ending today's session. And as Elisa already introduced you, on Tuesday, we have next webinar.
I put the link to the platform where you can register inside the chat.
Yeah.
So
The chat.
Yeah.
Yes, please copy the link from the chat.
Well, thank you very much for the webinar of today. It was super interesting, and I hope that everyone enjoyed it and that you found it interesting as I did. And so I hope to see you next week with the next webinar, and have a nice day and have a nice weekend.
Yes.
Thank you.
Weekend to everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Mhm.
I cannot hear anyone. Okay, we're probably back. Bye.
Ciao, Sonia. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Okay, Elisa.